At Yiming's request, Jin Xingjian simply took off his suit and changed into a pale white coat, which made his temperament out of dust, but on the contrary, he had the charm of banal. Taking into account that Yiming's body is still recovering, Jin Xingjian is also extremely cautious in choosing food, and he patiently answers any questions he doesn't understand. Even though the two dynasties are very different, Yiming is different from the common womb after all, receiving new things faster, and thinking more, the more suspicious. After all, her cognition of memory still stays in Jin Xingjian's childhood. Blank. Why fainted and what happened afterwards? Yiming always had this question, but every time she couldn't ask a useful answer. Lian Zhuan chased all the way to Denian Tower, but the demon girl Xiaoqing was not seen on the left and right, until she was teased by the other party in the gallery, and he was so angry that he used the trick. The two men fought each other upstairs and fought hard. The guests gathered downstairs to watch the excitement and talked endlessly. Xiaoqing suddenly turned into a dagger and self-mutilated himself and fell to his death. Seeing a life case in the restaurant, everyone fled in panic. Even though Lian Zhuan knew that Xiaoqing had deliberately put the blame on him, he was helpless and could only gnash his teeth to avoid the police chase. In the end, he ran to the back door of Huaxiu's High and broke into the hall in embarrassment. For this uninvited guest, Jin Xingjian was still calm and composed. It was obvious that he had known Lian Zhuan for many years, and his grievances had not been clearly stated. On the contrary, Lian Zhuan smelled something strange and suddenly realized that Yiming was awake. Xiaoqing took advantage of the fact that no one was around, turned into a worm and slipped away. The police found that the corpse under the straw mat had disappeared out of thin air. He was surprised and shocked, and hurried to report the situation to Deputy Director Bai Jinggang. Several police officers witnessed the gangster Lian Zhuan escaping into Huaxiu's Eye. Bai Jinggang led the team to search, but Jin Xingjian took the initiative to confess where Lian Zhuan was hiding. Lian Zhuan was exposed and had no choice but to rush out. Domestic servant Zhou Pai was a little worried about Lian Zhuan's comfort, but Jin Xingjian didn't care much, and went to find Yi Qingchan to customize women's clothing. At this time, Yi Lina came to look for her eldest brother to make clothes, intending to show off at the banquet of Zhenggongcai, but when she saw Jin Xingjian, all the wealthy sons and good couples were forgotten, and it was actually her eyes that offended the nympho. Yi Qingchan knew that his sister hated marrying, but he didn't want to choose a hard bone, so he advised Yi Lina to dispel this unrealistic idea. There are 2 underground floors in Huaxiu's High. The first floor is a hidden door, and the second floor is empty and gloomy. There is a jade bed in the center, which is always lit up all year round. Since Jin Xingjian bought furniture and supplies in the basement, although it has increased a lot of temperature, it can't be seen after all. Yiming woke up and couldn't find Jin Xingjian. He just wanted to walk upstairs, but was blocked by the barrier, making it difficult to leave. Because of this, Yiming believes that Jin Xingjian is imprisoning herself. No matter what she asks to leave, Jin Xingjian still refuses, as if the time has not come, as if there are important things that have not been resolved. Lian Zhuan, who got rid of the police chase smoothly, was turned away from visiting Huaxiu's High in disguise. Zhou Bai responded politely, leaving a sentence that the owner is dead, and closing the door neatly with his hands and feet. Lian Zhuan was desperate, and was teased by Xiaoqing when he passed the alley, and finally forced him to climb the wall. Before taking a few steps, he was restrained by Jin Xingjian's spell. Commander Duan moved his family to Shanghai. Bai Jinggang wanted to be familiar with him, but he had spent a lot of money. The band had all salutes, and in the end he also asked hesitantly to stop him at the door. Seeing that Bai Jinggang had eaten the door behind him, his heart was righteous, so he gave him advice and should do what he wanted, and buy some good seals from elsewhere to give to Commander Duan. That night, Yiming heard the voice of a strange man in his sleep. The voice was full of infatuation and sadness, claiming that he and Yiming were originally a couple, but Jin Xingjian was dismantled. After waking up from the nightmare, Yiming couldn't forget the man named Yu Shabai, and couldn't help but ask Jin Xingjian, but he didn't expect him to know him well.